What's up? What's up, everybody? Holy cow, there's already 34 people in here. Oh my gosh. What's up, you guys? Let's see here. Turning on the chat, figuring it out. The markets are moving pretty fast right now, aren't they? Things are moving pretty quickly. I had to come out live tonight. I was trying to take time off until I got more screens set up, but had to go out on the fly. Just took my wife to the airport, running around all this stuff. No dot gun, no updates in that regard, my friend. I am very apologetic, but no, we won't be touching that one. But great to see you guys. Piccolo Rick, Piccolo Rick, you're a night owl like me. CMG Sec Nasty Affinity Templin. Thank you for joining me. Absolutely lovely people. We have some really brilliant things going on in the markets at large, but really, what is stealing the show right now is Ethereum. Ethereum is picking up a lot of steam. A lot of people were sitting there poking at it, seeing if it was going to start doing something. It has absolutely started doing the thing. Let's check it out. We got pretty good price action over the 7-day up. Let's see here. Let's zoom into this. It's up about 18%. But the really cool thing about seeing Ethereum wake up is that it's tied to BlackRock. And this release that just came out, I'm sure you've seen. It's all over the internet already. It's fast moving, and that's the theory that I agree with, and I think is brilliant of BJ to bring me to light to. Before I dig into this, like I will own it. Like when I was talking to BJ and the rest of the crew in the basement about the potential for a Bitcoin spot ETF, and I mean, I didn't even ponder that an Ethereum spot ETF would be hitting the potentials so quickly. And I think that, Gary Gensler, we've already heard him talk about that Ethereum's not security. He doesn't consider Bitcoin or Ethereum as security, regardless of all the other arbitrage that he's doing to all these other altcoins. And we're going to get into a little tiny, juicy little snippet from Jeremy Hogan on a very famous altcoin, XRP, which I'm a long time holder of. I've, part of the whole I paid attention for years to all the overlap of their personnel into central banks, Rosie Rios, all of that stuff. So I've been there, man. And yeah, this is turning out to be something that I have been underestimating this bull market. I've been keeping a very conservative idea that we were going to surely have a return of the bull market in a diminished returns kind of fashion. The speed of information is likely what is quickening this process, and it's stopping the arbitration of valuable assets like we saw with gold. And so for reference, I'm sure many of you in the chat, you know what I'm talking about, but if there's anyone out there that wonders what I'm talking about, it was around 1933, 1934 when the gold confiscation happened, and you were given notes, promissory notes for your gold in the United States. And then in 1971, obviously, we took ourselves off the gold standard. 1974, we were allowed to have a gold futures ETF. It makes you stop and think, wait, why did it take 40 years from that initial confiscation to open ETF, and not alone just an ETF, a futures ETF, right? Why are you opening up the ability to skew the markets and control them and liquidate positions before you open up the ability for a spot? Very ugly thought when you really think about it. And then you speed up to 2004 when the gold spot ETF was available. So, I think that something that I had to eat as far as like what I was wrong about is thinking that this was going to be able to be stopped by the powers that be. I think the power of information flowing so fast as it does now has really kind of speed up the process, and potentially in an exponential way that will keep getting more exponential as everything becomes more interconnected. But on to the story. Just had to give a surrender. BJ was right about this one, because I do think it's coming. And now I'm having to align my expectation in a good way, right? I have to align my expectations in a good way to really what the full potential of this bull market is. So let's dig into the news here. I'll go to this story just broke. Official BlackRock has filed for an Ethereum spot ETF. Mind you, I know many know BlackRock is the largest fund manager in the world. So very, very systemically important investment firm for the United States. So we get into this information on the NASDAQ website, describes BlackRock's application as a proposed rule change for listing and trading shares on the iShares Ethereum Trust under NASDAQ rule. This is crazy to have this happening so quickly. Another thing that comes to mind as this news broke, we also had BlackRock coming out saying, hey, we expect the approval for this ETF to be done by January of 2024. That is right around the corner. Like we're almost like halfway through November already, people. This is moving fast. It's going fast. And the holidays are upon me. Oh my God, maybe it's just me, but time is just moving so fast. I really hope I hope we have a good consolidation. Catch them all. Absolutely awesome to have you in the studio, dude. Very cool guy. He hooked my daughter up as a special treat. I'm going to give her a Pokemon card pack that she hooked me up. Dude, you're awesome. Absolutely very cool to put a name to the face and really get to know you. Hope you come back, man. But back to what I was saying. This is a pretty amazing to see Ethereum be offered or just pushed in front of the limelight, and it's going to be in the lumps. I don't think it's going to be due. The Ethereum ETF application is not necessarily going to be due within the same time frame as the Bitcoin ETFs are, but Larry Fink is, in my opinion, more powerful than the president. It's just my opinion. You look at Blackwater, look at everything that happened over the last 23 years, you'll get a bigger, a good hold on that idea. So this development took place earlier today. Documents published by Delaware's Department of State and Corporations Division website at the Wall Street Registry had the documents put in from this iShares Ethereum Trust. So pretty absolutely cataclysmic. And now I kind of want to talk about the potentials of this, right? So they definitely have, a good access to their 10 trillion right on the front end. Overall management, I think their overall basket, like that they don't directly manage, is in the 30 something trillion, like 32 trillion. But this for BlackRock means a lot of other ETFs that are being applied for, like the ARK Invest. You have, I know Van Eck is going to be going after it. You have some of the biggest fund managers in the world are going to be moving in tandem. And really, if you think about the scope of the situation with their unrealized losses and realized losses up to the tune of $400 billion for the banking sector over the last month, it's going off the rails. That is a cataclysmic upheaval in losses in the traditional market. So it's my opinion that I don't think that there's any reason that they would try to arbitrage that level down of entry into Bitcoin, because there's always, all the unrealized and realized losses on the traditional markets. So it's just overall exciting to see these things happen. I'm not really, worried that they're going to try to destroy it. I think they kind of need this to work to hedge against those losses that they have in the traditional markets. And on this news, we had Ethereum bust up to 210, but I want to look at the overall market cap just to give some scope and reference of what my thought process was prior to the very, very bullish sentiment that it actually is going to happen. The spot ETFs, it looks like, are going to happen for Bitcoin at the very least next year. But Ethereum's in the mix too, and it hit a $550 billion market cap peak of last cycle. A lot of projects are still building on Ethereum. As much as all these layer ones exist, Ethereum is still quite dominant in that regard. And so when I think about what the real potential of Ethereum could be in this next cycle. Previously, I was feeling like we were going to hit like the 4 trillion, 5 trillion level. This opens up the gates for us to compete with gold in the next bull market. So I'm just looking at like about a 9-10 target. I'm very, very bullish on what's coming for us. So thinking in that regard, previously in a diminished returns environment, I'd expect Ethereum to peak out somewhere around 700 to 800 billion dollars in market cap at the peak of the next bull, which I think is the middle of 2025 if it follows the pattern, right? But now that we have this new player in the game, we're tangibly looking at a move up to that 9 trillion mark. And of that market, I mean, as I said, Ethereum is still very, very embedded as a strong number two. It doesn't seem like it's getting shaken off its hill anytime soon. I do not discount Ethereum for being able to hit $1.5 trillion in this next market. That would put it right around, $12,100 if it hit a $1.5 trillion market cap, give or take. Probably more closer to 12K per Ethereum. But that would imagine what kind of move that would have for the rest of the markets. The markets that, things that are built on Ethereum, like we have layer ones are ripping right now. I'll show you my screen and check out where the markets are at. Let's go to this here. So I moved into Arbitrum instead of Ethereum a little bit of time ago. It was about 95 cents. So let's see where Arbitrum is sitting right now. I looked at Arbitrum as just a very integrated, kind of mainstay layer two. I think that is going to really steal some thunder in the next few years. When I got in at 95 cents. It's at $1.19, so it's only an 8% move, slightly behind Ethereum for now, but much smaller market cap. And as money moves into Ethereum, then the entire Ethereum ecosystem, receives kind of that trickle down effect from the involvement there. So pretty excited to see where this one goes. I'm also seeing Polygon is moving pretty good. You're going to have a lot of layer twos with. I don't think it's going to be just a short moment in the sun for layer twos. A lot of people look at them as like, well, are you just adding things to intrinsically broken systems? And really, the broader scope thought process that I have is that there's going to be multiple different banks, institutions, companies selling things, or art galleries, or the whole slew of the economy is such a wide ecosystem. There's going to be a lot of different specified use cases within that. There's going to be a lot of room for layer twos and focused projects. I keep saying that as long as they have a straight up good focus that is eloquently put and has a reasonable take, it's going to have its moment in the sun. It's this bull market that we have right now. I've been saying it on the basement. I feel like this is the last gasp of air for the middle class across the world. Honestly, we see what's happening with inflation across the world. We complain about the United States and our inflation level, which honestly, if you're accounting for inflation the way that we did in the 1990s, it would come out to right around 16, 17%. But we are lied to. Across the world, it's 90%, 80%. Look at Turkey, look at Venezuela, all these different situations. Let's see here. What is this? I want to see. I'll check out so I'm kind of ranting here, but essentially the middle class is at risk of going extinct in the next 5 to 10 years if people continue to be shoved into these inflationary fiat death caskets. It's done for. I've talked to my father very recently, and was just speaking to him about the time frame where he was raising me, and how very different it is in our today's society compared to when when I grew up with him. And it's really incredible to think about the cost of living. I mean, he bought a house that was $80,000, and that same house peaked out 500, 600, like what? It took like 10, 11 years. That's really not that long to make that kind of move in your cost of living. So don't break the button. What's up, you guys? We got Sag Nasty, Deucey Does Crypto, Jeremiah Dixon. Dude, you guys are just the absolute. Joshua Jake, what up? What up? Love having him in the office. Absolutely fire takes, great energy, and yeah, it's super exciting to have this crew building up the way it is. It's been pretty amazing over at Hit Network lately. So feel like but I feel like I have a very short amount of time to get the message as far as possible, because crypto is a way to have a sovereign savings. We need to look at Bitcoin as a sovereign savings. Altcoins, all these upcoming ecosystems, these are great plays and they can make great moves, obviously. But then we found over the last year, as we were showing in the basement, that it's oftentimes in accumulation markets, or kind of the boring time, it's better to be insulated into Bitcoin or Ethereum. you don't lose as much as altcoins. And we showed that there during the bear market, or the accumulation zone. I called it the crab market. The truth is out there. That's right. That's right. I'm going to be building out this little home studio here. I got a little thingamajig that Bobby bought me at work. And I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to connect all these screens. It's going to be incredible. It's funny. I run the show at the work, and it's much more complex than at home, but learning new systems, always a deal. But it's a super exciting time. We also had some good news come out about Celsius. It looks like there's actually a plan for their bankruptcy to move forward and find a way to try and repay the people that fell victim. I forgot that I had Ethereum in Celsius, and then it reminded me when they went under, and it sucks. Thank God it's only like one or a little less than one, but I had months about a year ago. A year before it went under, I took out majority of the Ethereum, thank God, but just left a little behind. And it was really unfortunate, obviously, to see what happened to them. But it looks like the embattled crypto firm will repay affected customers in a combination of crypto assets and stock in a new creditor-owned Bitcoin mining firm. Very interesting play, if you ask me. A little bit of hope there. I like it. I like it a lot. Here's oh my gosh, this thing. I got to show you. So this is where it is. The new creditor-owned Bitcoin mining firm. According to their legal team, this came out pretty recently. I think it was just a few hours ago. Yep, 5 hours ago. Just a little bit while I was driving. Like I said, I was driving around, going to the airport, doing dead stuff. So yeah, man, and it was really great to pull up the chart again. I mean, we had that sick pump, and the violent action is the stuff I remember from the last cycle that really was the beginning of something truly amazing. I think that this bull market that we have coming up it's going to trump them all. It's going to trump them all. It's going to be tremendous. Believe me. This is going to be insane, because now BlackRock actually wants this to happen, and they're going to get what they want. Got any chamomile tea? No. Throat candles? Am I dying? Am I dying? I used to be a heavy metal singer. I used to sing a 2-hour show of heavy metal on very little food or liquids every single day for a long time in a row. When I was a younger lad, those are my heydays. I can definitely send it, but it was really fun going back to Colorado and playing a heavy metal show, seeing people mosh again. And it was an awesome show, getting side railed. I should probably show I should have my own music as my intro music. That's what I should do. But let's check out what else is going on just real quick before I let you guys go. I am saying that, this is a very short time frame that we have to let the general public know that an absolute super cycle is on the horizon. BlackRock moving in, Van Eck moving in. We'll show you some things of this. This is the time. This is the time right now, you guys. Let's see here. We got, obviously, DeFi Investor dropping the link here for the application on NASDAQ for the Ethereum Trust. So you can go look that up. It's right here under, just look up Ethereum Trust, the trust under NASDAQ rule 5711. But let's go back to what else. This is something that I really think that there's something here. So I'll share my screen. There was a cyber attack, or a ransomware attack, on China's biggest bank today. And what it meant was an actual disruption in the treasuries for the United States. This disrupted United States treasuries, and quite a thing to see. There's been some talks about the pain in treasuries and the high the yield going up because no one's willing to buy them. Something bad happened today in the treasuries. Here's just showing this bonds are now experiencing crypto type volatility to the downside, with a 75% crash in the 100-year Australian government bond. That is not a good sign. It's Australia, but it's a NATO nation tied into world finance. But we did, this is Conks, just absolutely a great macro account to follow. Very simple, simple terms, makes things clear. This essentially they had today was the worst auction since 2007. There was very, very low interest in those bonds at the auction. So it was just highly noted. 30-year auction today was the biggest tail on record. These are the sickness symptoms of a dying system. Absolutely cataclysmic to see. But it really gets your goat going, because really, if you think about it, why would crypto exist if it wasn't useful? What is it fixing, right? There has to be you can't just create a Bitcoin or a crypto and have a non-intrinsic need for a society to adopt it. If what's working is working, there's no need to change it. But what's been done is not working anymore. So that's on. And I know they're out of NATO, but very much an ally of the United States. So yes, Australia is technically out. I wonder if Turkey is going to stay. The Turkey relationship has been really weird to watch with NATO over this conflict. So definitely that's a side thing. That's the bunker stuff getting out of me. But back to this. Let's see here. I'll share the stream. You know what? I'm not gonna play this video, but I gotta make it known. Jay Powell is based. Okay, so maybe I'll try to
expect that the process of getting inflation sustainably down to 2% has a long way to go. The labor market remains tight, although improvements in labor supply and a gradual easing in demand continue to move it into better balance. GDP growth in the third quarter was quite strong, but like most forecasters, we expect growth to moderate in coming quarters. Of course.
Jerome Powell, by refusing to treat climate change like a systemic risk,
thank you.
You are putting us at
Thank you very much.
disaster.
Thank you very much.
Climate change will threaten.
Thank you. Just close the fucking door.
I hope you guys heard that. Is Jerome Powell like based AF or what? Like, I hope you guys can hear that. That was crazy. Maybe he's just a little bit tired. I remember they looked at his salary and it was like 200,000 or something like that. I was like, that guy is under so much stress. He's like pulling levers on world finance and controlling the wealth of nations, and he gets like 200K a year. Like, that's a little bit. I would pay the leader of the Federal Reserve a little more than that. But I would also probably abolish it in general. So that's actually not true. I would fire him. So that's that. But pretty fun times in the world we got going on here. Very interesting to see Jay Powell get so feisty up on stage today. But yeah, I mean, other than the cyber attack on China's largest bank while they're trying to sell off U.S. treasuries, a little shaky. Now, this is just something to note, is every $1,000 move that Bitcoin makes upwards means that MicroStrategy improves its balance sheet by $158 million. So, as you think about Wall Street and their situation, I mean, they got some tech stocks and some mainstay stocks that, they're performing well, but a lot of them are getting kind of crushed right now. So Wall Street's sitting here watching MicroStrategy just crush it, in their playground. They're watching the Bitcoin miners and they're up 100% on the year, and blah, 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 and they're just like, man, you got to think about that. That's gonna sting enough for them to finally dip in. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take an interest in crypto and tokenization of assets. Real world assets is taking hold. If you notice, been talking about real world assets for months. I mean, honestly, years, but months. It's been more tangible ever since CCIP and all these different actual integrations. And the reason why I bring up CCIP as like kind of its validation in my mind is that it was working with the Australian Central Bank in front of the public with large publications coming out confirming their relationship. That's a big signal, man. That's a big signal. You cannot ignore that. Maybe the Band-Aid. Yes, I know. I like Jay Powell a lot more because of that. But good on him. There's also, I'm not going to show the clip, but Santa Claus got in an argument with some eco activists in Panama. So go check out Panama, and also in Panama, it's very important for world trade, and it's actually kind of looking shaky, and it's it's almost turning into like a Sri Lanka potential. So watching what the situation in Panama unrolls to, obviously that's world finance and all that stuff beyond crypto. I mean, I think that crypto is doing just fine without all that chaotic stuff, but I do pay attention to it regardless. Let's see if there's anything interesting else before I wrap up here. Actually, absolutely exciting. Tomorrow's going to be a great show. I can already feel it because all this bullishness, but yeah, guys, for coins that I'm watching Arbitrum. It's still at $1.20. It's reasonable anywhere like I feel all right getting Arbitrum if it's at like $1, anything under $1.25 is kind of like what I'm thinking for my time frame of building my Arbitrum bag. Then I'll be moving on and getting back in. OP made me some good profits during crab market accumulation zone. So OP is another one that I like. I'll probably be grabbing a bag of that. It's really fun to feel so excited to buy cryptos and seeing this little pullback. I mean, even Chainlink, where did Chainlink even go? Let's check that real quick. I know that we pulled back heavily to like 14. Let's see if we hold on here. Share this tab instead. Let's go. Let's hear. So yeah, 1450 still right there, just building this little shelf here. That would be absolutely nasty town, nasty town, if we could build a shelf all the way up here, man. I mean, because it's reasonable to think that we could come back down. Oh yeah, let me make sure my thing is sharing. Oh no, yeah, here I'll show you. So we got this. Oh God, there's me. There's this. So here is Chainlink on the day. This is the tiny little shelf, but this is just a blip. I mean, you can't really build any kind of structure out of that unless it continues to hold and bounce off of it. But just absolutely, it's up 99% on the month. So it's like, it's okay to calm down. I want it to calm down. I need it to calm down because it's one of the stronger projects. I feel like just telling anyone that I come across, like if they're looking for like projects to look into, what I'm liking, like I like bringing up Chainlink, Bitcoin, obviously. Faden, I did already on yeah, I already did. So like it's all moonbag, man. Like, and I'm full sending. Like I remember when I first got into crypto, I was only going to do like $500 or something. And I was like, all right, and then my wife came up, she's like, you going to do that? I was like, no, I'm going to do full ass, no half ass and nothing. So, and it went great. I've kind of learned to just heavily DCA when I feel like the time is right. I use the charts and just the overall bellwether of news and the sentiment on the markets to give me kind of an idea, but you combine those things and you can create a convicted trading plan. That is something that I am coming out with a video on, explaining exactly my thought process in combination to the news events that triggered my decisions along the way in this market and what I see coming in the next few months and also into next year. And also, like, I still feel very strongly that we're going to be in a perfect position to take strong profits within crypto in mid 2025, also experiencing low interest rates coming back down because the Federal Reserve's a bunch of pussycats that are trying to act tough. It's not the 70s and 80s anymore. There are quadrillions of dollars of derivatives on the line and an entire system built on underwater securities. So that is a different situation. Plus, houses were what, like $25,000. So it's a different situation. Using those two things is not useful. It's not useful information to compare. So yeah, guys, this is an exciting time. Thank you so much for joining me. Big hands, Dan. Awesome. You came into the studio too. Excellent meeting you, man. Putting a face to the name. C90FTW. Okay, last message. Ray joined OG tonight. What's up, Ray? Hey, thank you, Ray. Where is Ray? Where's you go? I know I seen you here. Yeah. Oh man. I'm just so excited. Here you are, Ray. There you are. Thank you so much, Ray. Yeah, I got the coolest community. It's the coolest community. We're in the know. We've had a great time during accumulation zone. As long as you're staying away from leverage and 200x and forgetting that you even set the thing and then waking up to Wrecktown, USA. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're being convicted, focused in your process, everyone is going to approach building their bags different. Everyone thinks that other things are more important. Like I think that the data and security are highly important, but that's not really noticed yet. But that's why I was highlighting that China story. These are slowly building necessities that are being built as we experience different problems in our society. We're moving things forward pretty fast. It's going to be a very, very interesting future to be a part of. What a time to be alive. Tank, it is confirmed that they actually do have it listed as a NASDAQ I Trust ETF application that's been acknowledged. And BlackRock does expect their Bitcoin ETF to be done by January. So I know it's hard to swallow right now. It's a lot, right? This is a big deal. So yeah, I'm going to be looking a little bit more aggressively at just maybe even stacking more Chainlink. I don't know, like I don't want to get too spread out. I know I want to look at Casper, get a new kind of position, maybe into HBAR. I don't know. I'm always so torn on HBAR. I'm so torn on HBAR. But you guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate you, every single one of y'all. See you in the morning. We'll see if anything else breaks over the night. But we're having a good time, man. This is the time of our life. This is a really important time to tell everyone you know that there is an option outside of being inflated to the casket. So with that being said, I'll see you on the other side.